Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So in the we got it right category, we actually my wife brought my attention to a book early on called Extraordinary Kids. It's probably 30 years old now or whatever, but it was quite good. And it talked about the very danger you're describing, where the special needs child sucks the oxygen out of the room, and therefore the others are left, to perhaps get into bad behaviors or whatever, and to gain attention. So we were quite aware of that early on. So even though I described him not ever having had a family vacation. My wife would take him to Florida when she went to go visit relatives, or I would take him camping multiple times every summer,
Good.
and various things like that. So we made sure we got quality time. As he got older, we found walk in the woods were really great. My son loved video games from a young age. I hate video games, but from like 7 years old, 6 years old onwards, we had like half hour father-son video game time every night. Um,
That's a
if
good
we,
daddy, even though
yeah,
you didn't like it.
exactly.
My son is like in the industry of video games, and
Yeah,
I would still be like, why do you like this guy? I like
yeah,
he would never wanted me to play with him because I was terrible.
yeah,
But, I would take an interest in it anyway.
yeah. And my wife was, patient when she's trying to make dinner, and the toddler or the 6 year old wants to help, and it's like you're really not a lot of help, but she would bring him in to help, and his help would last, 2 minutes, and then he'd be off, for Thomas the Train or something. But so that part we did well, and thanks to the book and a few friends who offered wise counsel. Uh, we've since, though, as he's gone off to university and he's home now, he's doing a co-op term. He's an engineering student. He's doing a co-op year between third and fourth year, and it's great having him home again and spending time with him and stuff. But things come out where we realize, oh, you were still affected. Uh,
Absolutely.
he
Can't
was
help
a
it.
Yeah, and sometimes he was affected because he'd be walking to school and he would hear an ambulance, and he'd be in a state of panic thinking, is that my sister?
Right.
Things we didn't know was going through
Didn't
his
even think
head.
of.
Yeah. Um, Also, even when he was as young as 6 or 7, he can remember, on a Saturday morning coming downstairs, not having to go to school, but being very focused on reading the room because he could sleep through a hurricane, but he was aware that it might have been a hell night last night. There might have been paramedics in and out of the house last night. My parents might not be in a good state this
Right.
morning.
You guys may
And
be
so,
irritable.
yeah, so he learned to watch and listen to figure out, are we in that sleep deprived post, adrenaline rush, you know, tense state? Or are we well rested and ready for 6 year old babble? And you know, I regret that because the 6 year old should be able to just babble. Um, but you know, life is life, and not everybody has everything exactly perfect. And uh, you know, I think it's important for us still to have the relationship, though, that at 21 he can share, hey, this affected me this way. And we, you know, it's very hard sometimes. We're like, you don't know what I was dealing with. How could you lay that on me? But it's like, no, that's what he experienced. Tell me more. Uh,
Good.
how does it affect you now? I'm sorry that that's what you experienced.